All right, let's go at it, Gilbert. Let's go game one. Vic, can you write this? I mean, I'm pretty sure in my head I can know it, but if you could just like write it down and like give it to me, that'd be awesome. No Diddy. So all right, let's get this going. Gilbert, game one versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
At home, right? So far, I got
Yep.
give me okay. Yeah, give me the Chargers game one at home.
At Carolina.
Yeah. Damn it, already 2-0.
At Pittsburgh.
That's tough. I'll say loss, even though I'm not sure about the quarterback. But yeah,
Versus the Chiefs
where doesn't matter. But
in LA.
yeah, loss.
At Denver.
Win. What? No,
At
yeah, no, they're bad. They're really bad now, right?
at Arizona.
No, I like Arizona.
Ooh, 3-3. Versus the Saints
Where?
in LA.
Uh, I'll say loss. They could be sneaky.
3-4. At Cleveland.
Loss.
3-5. Versus the Tennessee Titans
Where?
in LA.
Yeah, win.
Versus the Cincinnati Bengals in LA.
Loss.
Versus the Baltimore Ravens in LA.
Is there a bye week somewhere in there?
The bye week was week 5.
Okay. Yeah, loss again.
At Atlanta.
Loss.
At Kansas City.
Loss.
Versus Tampa Bay
Where?
in LA.
They're due for a win. Give them a win.
Versus the Broncos at home.
Win. They're really bad.
At New England.
Win. It's a tough one because they're on the road, but it's a win.
At Las Vegas.
Loss.
So I think you have them at 8-9, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, that's not
or
too
no,
bad.
Hold on.
We'll get it from Vic right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have an answer here?
God, I wish a certain someone was on here for that.
Yeah.
7-10.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a. I think they were 7.5 in Vegas for the over under, and I went under. Come on, Jorge, you got to be real. They're back-to-back Super Bowl champions. They're far above from the Chargers right now, and honestly, like I still think. I'm sorry, I'm being honest. I still think the AFC West is pretty weak with the Broncos, Chargers, and the Raiders. And I'll just say this: I hate to be the negative Nancy. I'm at this point with the Chargers now because I've fallen for the trap many times. Their offseason hype. But after coming off a 5-12 season where you lost some key veterans, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, like I get Jim Harbaugh is great. I get him results in the year one, but I got to see him build the offensive line. I got to see him fix the rushing attack. I got to see the defense play freaking defense. Like I'm still in the Brandon Staley era. I like Jesse Minter. I know how long it takes for schemes to develop and get incorporated. And also, like, let's be real, Jim Harbaugh hasn't coached in the NFL in what 10 years, 12 years. I forget how long it's been. 9. So I'm not trying to be a super negative Nancy. I'm just saying I'm gonna sit this one out before I get real and say, you know what? I like Jim Harbaugh. I like this and that, but it's such a young receiving core. Like, is Joe Alt going to be that guy? Like, where is he going to play left and right? Is interior going to be okay? Who's going to run the football? Are really going to? Like, I've never been a big fan of Gus Edwards, and then J.K. Dobbins. The knee issues and injuries have been a problem. Can you really run the football? Can you really protect Justin Herbert? And if it's Justin Herbert being the gunslinger, who's going to catch his passes? Yeah, you got McConkey, you got maybe Brandon Rice, you got Quentin Johnson, you got Palmer. I just got to see it before I jump in. And I'm done, kind of trying to think this is a year that the Chiefs fall off. I got to see it with them too to finally have a step. They could easily go 10-7 and then lose. Win the division. Maybe they lose in the playoffs, whatever. But it's still their division right here. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dan. I keep it real for you guys, but I got to see Jim Harbaugh do something with this team because there was hype machine every single year with the Chargers. And just because Jim Harbaugh's around, they're going to fix everything. I got to see it first. And they might be second in the division. I think the Raiders and the Chargers are pretty close, but at least the Chargers have a quarterback. The Raiders don't. And, they could run the football. And, they also have maybe a better defense, Fernando. We got to be real. We have not seen this Chargers defense do anything since what? 2018.
Gus Bradley, yeah, right around that time.
So to me, it's like I add all that, and it's like we're putting a lot of on Jim Harbaugh to be the hero and fix everything. I need
You
a year
wanted
to
to
see
take
it. I need a
Justin
year.
Herbert and Jim Harbaugh
Hey, but 7-10 is better than 5-12, so it's
by
progress.
2 games. Uh,
Thank you,
so
Jesky.
I don't believe in I don't believe in Arizona as much as you do. So I would probably give that one a win. The New
Okay.
Orleans one, I certainly don't think Derek Carr is worth a damn. So I would probably give him that
But you
win.
know this team, Fernando, like they find a way to just stumble and they're gonna stub their toe
But see,
somewhere.
okay, see, I think the stumbling comes with the head coach, whoever the head coach is.
But why are we just
And
assuming that Harbaugh's gonna fix it? Like
no, and I'm not assuming that they're gonna fix
it's
everything
60
in one
years of
year.
this franchise doing the same
No,
thing over and
I
over
know,
again.
but they finally took the correct step forward that they needed,
Yes, and I
which
want to
was
be more. I
get
want to
rid
be
of
more
the.
reserved about it, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I completely. But see, you're also telling me to like look at these other teams.
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Orleans is
Okay.
not a good team. Arizona is not a good team. Like, so I'm supposed to choose between Jonathan Gannon and Jim Harbaugh. Well, obviously, I'm going to choose Jim Harbaugh.
That's
Like
fair. That's
Jonathan
fair.
Gannon hasn't given me anything to think about. And then their defense. What is their defense like?
It's a problem.
Can you name me three besides Buda Baker? You can't name me three players on that damn defense that you're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that guy. Oh, that guy.
There's Robinson, Xavier Collins, Kaiser White.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kaiser, wait, that one's a cheater. That's cheating. No, I get you. But
Actually, Justin Jones is part of that team too. He's in the interior defensive lineman.
oh, Juan, that's awesome. Yeah, Juan said his wife surprised him with Monday Night Football tickets in
Hey,
Arizona.
I actually
So
do want to go to that game. It's a Monday
let's
night. I
go
told you,
then.
Fernando. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Monday it's close by. You know,
Yeah,
Mondays
yeah,
and
yeah.
Thursdays are better for me. So yeah.
Drive or fly, whichever one. Oh, ask your buddy. He can't make it to practices sometimes, so because the Nationals ask him to go to the Monday night game, so maybe you guys can carpool out there.
Inside joke. Inside joke. Yeah. We
Uh,
might have another meeting about it. I'll just say that.
holy crap. Um,
So are you?
Tennessee,
So
like
are you
no,
saying? Are you saying
so
9-8?
I had them at 8 and 9, but
Oh,
then
we're
the
not too
Jim
far
Harbaugh.
off.
Hold on, then
Well, before. Okay.
I gave Jim Harbaugh 2 more wins. So the Jim Harbaugh effect, I gave 2 more wins, so I had him at 10 to
You're
7.
okay.
My only thing is, I completely agree with everything that you just said. Like, can Joey Bosa stay healthy?
There you go.
Can Khalil Mack replicate? Because I understand a lot of people are saying, well, Khalil Mack had 6 sacks against one team. Yeah, but take away, okay, let's just take away 2 or 4 of those sacks. He still had, what did he have? 17. He still had 13 sacks in a sense against the rest of the league. So that's actually pretty good. And then
But
you
what
add
about the interior defensive line? I can't even name a guy in the interior
oh
right now.
no, no, and that okay, that's where I'm going. The secondary for me is still an issue. I think they're going to rely more on Jesse Minter's scheme than the players that they have in a sense, if that makes any sense. I still have questions about the safeties outside of Derwin James. So I have question mark. The linebackers I think are actually not that bad.
I don't know. Like you
Um,
have, do you think Denzel still has some play in
no,
there?
I think they
And
really
they got the
are
rookie.
excited about Junior Colson, and I think
Hey,
he's excited about Dayon
is
Henley.
is he okay though, Junior? I saw the
I asked and somebody told me that it looked like it was fine.
okay.
Like
By the
it
way,
was
I had a story at SI saying give 5 names of defensive players who could be rookie of the year candidates. I threw in Junior in there because I've heard good things. He knows the coaching staff, Jim Harbaugh. He knows Jesse Minter. He's probably going to be a starter, so I put him as a dark horse, and
yeah,
you've
no,
been saying good
and
things
I
about him.
actually think that's not bad. The Justin Simmons thing, Jorge, is that I've heard that he wants a lot of money. So that's kind of the issue there when it comes to him.
It's not
He
going to
wants a
come.
lot of money. I'm sure if he would take less, because if you guys have noticed, Jim hasn't given anybody more than 4.5 million to 5 in any free agent deal that they've made. So that's kind of the thing. If Justin's willing to go somewhere, see, I think Tennessee's a real possibility for Justin to go to be completely honest. But if I'm the Chargers, the reason why I'd get him is because he's the one that's intercepted Patrick Mahomes the most. Why wouldn't you go get a guy like that and then team him up with Derwin or
Good
put a
point.
low key back there and yeah, no, and that's the thing, Jorge. They've signed a lot of and that's another thing, Gilbert. There a lot of guys are counting on this 1 year to kind of get themselves paid, and that'll help. But I agree with you. The Gus Edwards thing I think is interesting because he looks like he's a touchdown machine. He's just not a pull away guy. It seems more
But you
like the
gotta
guy that
get to the red zone first before you give it
no,
to
no, no, and
Caicedo.
that's what I mean. The pull away guys look like it's Jake. The home run hitter is J.K. Dobbins if healthy, and that's another thing. Can he stay healthy? The kid that they drafted in the 6th round, though, looks like he could be the steal of the draft in a sense. Like he looks like he could be that. He's different style than Isaiah Pacheco, but I just mean in that sense
Okay.
where he could be solid. But again, the interior of the offensive line has been a problem. Remember, when Corey Linsley's gone down, this offensive line is not
Yeah.
very good. So
And that
and
can tell you
Bozeman,
better than anybody else. If you don't have good interior offensive line play, you can't run the
exactly.
football.
And then that's another thing. Trey Pipkins, can he adjust to being a guard? That's going to be a big, if he really is going to, because it looked like from some of the OTAs and some of the stuff that they've done, it looks like he is going to be a guard. So that's going to be interesting. But I just, I kind of feel, oh yeah, no, Bozeman is an upgrade over Clapp. That one's for sure. Cause I remember Dan always like would see him and he'd be like, God. So I remember Justin lit into his ass in that Packers game where he didn't snap him the ball. But I kind of agreed with you, but then I gave him 2 extra games because of the Jim Harbaugh effect. But the only thing is, I do still have questions. Like I said, this is going to be a 2-year project for these guys. Like they need 2 strong drafts to
Yeah.
really do something. But I don't know, man. That Brendan Rice pick for me, like I know he's a 7th rounder, but I could see a little Marquise Colston out of him where he ends up doing something and he ends up
Yeah.
having a good career just because. And I know obviously the juniors never end up being as good as the senior, and I'm not saying that he's going to be as good as his dad, but I think the kid has a possibility of being very good and being a playmaker. He has his head on straight. Gilbert got to speak to him for what, 5-10 minutes?
Yeah. Maybe like
Yeah.
15. Yeah. 10. He was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
talkative.
So there you go. Jorge, I think it's the fact that he has the right mentality when you hear him speak, and the right mentality is almost like what would you say, 60% of it. He has the physical tools, which is another 20.
Yeah.
And then
He has the numbers too, Fernando. Like he's one of the most
he
productive
scored a crap ton of
receivers.
touchdowns last year. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Also, Jorge, in Colorado, his numbers were okay. He gets to USC. He had an okay junior year, and then his senior year, his numbers kind of jumped out. Not the yards, obviously. Like, well, yards went from like what was it, 500 to 700, and then the touchdowns went from 4 to 12. So he's going to be a red zone target. And Jorge, I think anybody can get cut, to be honest. I don't think they're well, except for I really don't think Quentin. I think Quentin Johnston's probably the only one that probably wouldn't get cut just because of
He's
the
a first
contract.
round pick, man. You gotta
Yeah,
give him
so
another
I
year.
think he's the only one that's safe. I think everybody else is kind of well, and Josh Palmer, I guess, but I think everybody else is kind of it's open season for anybody else because Harbaugh didn't draft any of these guys. Like Harbaugh didn't draft Darius Davis. He didn't draft any of those other guys. Well, he did draft Ladd and Cornelius. But no, I think Darius Davis with these new rules, I think that helps Darius Davis make the team a little bit more just because of the new kickoff rules. But I agree with you. I still have a lot of question marks about this team, but I just feel like if he can just add the grit that he keeps on saying he wants to add to grit and the offensive line play could take them a ways away. But the problem is and I still have question marks about it, is the defense. I know that there was a lot of complaining last year where players weren't happy. And the year before that, they would go to Ronaldo Hill and be like, hey, what the hell is going on? Like, why can't we switch away? And then obviously Ronaldo Hill takes another job somewhere else because it was a better opportunity for
Yeah,
him.
it was a mess, man.
And yeah, so but I mean, we'll see. The guy that I really like too is Cam Hart. I think Cam Hart was a very good selection. He's long, he's lengthy. I saw some video of him against Marvin Harrison Jr. and he actually did a really good job. By the way, somebody already tweeted out Marvin Harrison Jr. looked slow, and they were just like they were just running like it wasn't even full blast. And I'm like, Jesus, like what's wrong with you people? So and I'm not gonna kill you for
And honestly,
let's
I
just
would
say a difference of opinion, Jorge. Difference of
yeah,
opinion.
like and then
If
you
you
being
notice, a lot of the ex NFL players left the coaching staff. That's all I'm gonna say. So a lot of the all of the ex NFL players basically left the coaching staff after that debacle, and you had a couple of people. Yes, Jorge. Yes, you had a lot of people saying, "Oh, there was Will Hoyt." I think came out and criticized the Jacksonville the Jacksonville game. So yeah, it was. I mean, how the hell does your cornerback pick off the opposing quarterback 4 times and
Well,
you
that's in the
can't win the
past.
game?
That's
No, no,
we're
no.
in
I
the
know,
Harbaugh.
I know.
But let me just say this,
Um,
Fernando, before we go to
yes,
the Rams,
Jorge. Yes,
like honestly, I don't think you're far off with 10-7 because yeah, maybe there's a Jim Harbaugh factor, and maybe I'm giving them their 2 wins from the bad roster and the bad years and the history
but
and the
you
things they
deserve to
tend to
do
do.
that.
So yeah, so that's why I went from the 5 and
Yeah,
12 to to the 7 and 10. But honestly, I would not be shocked. Maybe I'll take the L if I'm underestimating what Jim Harbaugh does. But it did take him a couple years to get to the top of the top of
yeah,
beating the Ohio States of the world, right?
yeah.
He did win right away. He was won everywhere he's gone. But I'm just saying I'm gonna like cool a little bit because I've gotten in trouble, and I'm sure many people have with the Chargers roster, and you're always gonna be somewhat in the race because you have Justin Herbert. But I gotta see it a little, and then maybe that's kind of like the weak move to wait a little bit, but I'm gonna wait this one out. But Fernando, I'm ready to give you the Rams breakdown if you want.
So is that you? That's your floor.
You know what? Yeah, sure. You're like I'm telling you,
Well,
I would not be shocked if you're right and it's 10-7. But I'm gonna be a little more reserved with my prediction.
no, and I mean, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. You obviously have been around the team for freaking ever, so you know exactly how all this song and dance goes. So like I said, I'm with you. I wouldn't be surprised if they went 7-9. I just think that they've kind of done everything right. They've hired a bunch of coaches. They've done a lot of stuff that they haven't done in the past, and that's what I'm interested to see, kind of how this team does moving forward. But I'm with you. I,
All
I
right.
I mean, if you tell me 7-9, I wouldn't be mad. If you tell me 10-7, I wouldn't be mad. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day.